The smartphone is not disappearing, it's getting demoted. By 2031, your primary interface is going to move from your pocket to your face. This shift comes down to 4 pillars, and each one chips away at the phone's command. Stick to hear the proof in each pillar. As promised, let's break down why the phone era starts losing its grip. Okay, let's set this conversation. Meta is openly pushing glasses as the ideal AI form factor. Google is building Android XR for the glasses and their headsets, and Qualcomm is shipping purpose-built silicon for smart glasses with an on-glass artificial intelligence. Here's why the phone starts to look temporary in this context. Once you start using these new smart glasses, even clumsy ones, something becomes really obvious. The smartphone is actually a really strange way to get info and really distracting in a number of ways for social reasons. We've all seen the person at the dinner who's looking down at their phone and not engaging. We basically normalize that. So we'll trade that look down and ignoring folks for staring off into space. Let's be honest, the look down won the last cycle. Glasses are different because they sit where your attention actually really is. And humans are basically heavily visual by nature. That matters more than most people think. And that's why this is going to be the next generation. We don't need to replace every smartphone task for this to become the dominant interface. Basically, we just need a way to make the highest frequency actions like messaging, calling, navigation, all those types of things, maybe your notifications, episodically the translation, which is more situational, and of course doom scrolling, normal. And it's not just Meta saying it. Google's Android XR vision already tells you where things are going to be heading. Google says glasses will work in tandem with your phone, give you access to your apps without reaching into your pocket, and you can provide private in-lens information like I'm seeing right now. Even that wording from Google is revealing. Google calls this tandem. I call it a purgatory. Look at the math. A smartphone is a high friction device. You're losing seconds just reaching into your pocket to get it. I mean, a couple seconds just to do that, right? Smart glasses, they're better, but still a transitional interface where you're fighting your voice commands. Making even my prediction, ultimately, short of where the final play is likely to land. The goal isn't working together. The goal is zero friction. And what do they mean by that? They mean glasses like these, ones that are untethered, and basically the front end, which is the hardware, will be a first mover. The audience will adopt it like me. Early adopters will catch it. The back end will catch up later. So the software will get there. We all seen it. The versions come out every year, every 6 months. That's why I think a lot of people are asking the wrong question. They ask, can smart glasses fully replace a smartphone today? Of course not. Not in the mainstream. That's not the actual real question. The real question is whether glasses can become your go-to gadget before they're fully independent. And I think the answer is yes. Here are 4 reasons why, as I promised. So, what are the 4 pillars of this shift? First, form factor and social acceptance. What do I mean by that? Form over function. Like these glasses, these are pretty nice. Holiday has a nice set. Ray-Ban Metas look nice. The category has already proven that we'll wear glasses that do useful things if they look decent and they fit our daily life. That lifestyle vibe is becoming more natural. I've talked about that in other videos. Meta's glasses with cellular Luxottica have moved the category out of the lab and into actual retail sales. 7 million glasses sold in 2025. 7 million. Adoption doesn't start when every techie problem is solved. It starts when a product becomes something a non-glass hole, regular Joe like us, actually looks and works with it in a cool sort of way. Devices like the Inmo Air 3 matter here. Not because they're the final answer, because they show a standalone future that makes this prediction seem more obvious today. And the concept is real. This is an Android tablet basically on your face. Second, power and battery. A lot of the skeptics are going to stop at battery life and say, this whole idea dies right here, Carl. Come on. Yes, battery life sets limits and often annoys with looking for your charger cables. Basically, it just needs to break the smartphones and desktop monitors chokehold. Glasses need chutzpah for repeated actions like your messaging, your calls, your navigation. If glasses can do these things and be functional for 8 to 9 business hours, this moves up to a need, not just a want. And on power, there are multiple paths improving right this minute. Lower power chips from Qualcomm, tighter thermals in the titanium frames, smarter power management, better battery chemistry. Can we at least expect a mixed solid-state battery solution within 5 years? That seems extremely likely, okay? Third, cellular access and compute availability. This is, in my mind, the key unlock. Right now, many of these products are companions. Basically, that means they're tethered to your phone through a cable or Bluetooth. That's why they still feel like accessories. The moment premium glasses gain direct cellular access to T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, maybe Starlink, to directly take your call, like the smartwatch or your phone, stand back, watch out. How much do you need that brick in your pocket at that point? Not everyone's going to want something on their face. Yeah, that's for sure. But the potential to overlay reality with digital signs like map arrows in a game that only you can see, that's next level. And it's just around the bend. We've already seen demos like that out there. Fourth, AI as central to your glass. Add this as the final pillar. AI is a killer app. It needs eyes and ears, and the glasses are probably the best way to give it a keyhole view into your life. Now, make it human level smart, which is generally expected to land around the 2030s. And guess what? It's a new ball game. Because basically, we're going to go from just information on your glasses to an assistant who will be able to give you guidance, feedback, and sometimes prompts. One of the most amazing things I've seen so far with these glasses, for example, is when you'll do a translation or a conversational tracking, it'll pop up with a little block and describe things. And it could be an event, a holiday, and tell you about it. It's incredible. That kind of extra intelligence is what Zuckerberg was referring to. It's a level of knowledge that isn't immediately available to you. That's super important. So let's repeat what my prediction is. The bottom line of this prediction: the smartphone dies by 2031. And again, to be clear, I mean it loses its status as the most important thing in your jacket. Could this take longer? Yeah, sure, absolutely. Battery improvements could come slower than I hoped. Folks are really wary of the built-in cameras and stealthy camera aspects today, and that's understandable. Prices could stay way high because the chips are unavailable for the glasses because they're being used for other things like the data centers and the rest. That's distinctly possible. Bottom line, Meta's own Orion prototype shows how hard rich AR still is. It relies on an external computer puck to deliver the big experience in a glasses-like form. But none of that weakens my main point. Watch for cellular integration, power efficiency, and style evolution just in 2026 and 27 with things like Warby Parker and Gentle Monster. If these devices become normal enough to wear all day without you thinking about them, then 3 additional years is a lifetime to get the rest wrapped up.